I was watching Jonah's BP yesterday, and I never really take anything from it, but I felt like I'd never seen him hit the ball like he did in BP. I don't know if you noticed that or saw it, but like...
Yeah, I was out there.
Okay, well, I know you were out there, but like, it was pretty impressive.
I said the same thing, yeah. He had one of the best BPs on both sides. Yeah, no, he felt good going into the game.
But that doesn't... There's no like science behind that carrying over. Right? Guys can have great VPs and maybe it doesn't translate.
You know, but this is kind of poor too for your confidence, I guess. You don't want to get loose and all that, but you know, you're trying to find your swing. There's times you sure you take VP. I think you feel good about it. It was a really good session for him.
Everything good with Chris Martin last night in Frisco?
Yeah.
Cool. How much longer do you think we'll need in rehab?
We're talking about it now. That's what we're talking about now. So went well. It covered first. No issues. So low close.
What do you like about these last 4 games, including last night? How the team are playing?
Yeah. Now really playing good baseball. Pitching side. And, getting some runs on the board. The defense is, last 4 games has really been outstanding. With losing some guys, you got to keep going, and that's what these guys are doing right now. They're focused on doing what they can to win the ball game.
I know you want them to focus on everything, but you just mentioned the defense has been playing pretty well, so you're trying to keep that in your mind.
Yeah, that's something I keep saying when I'm proud of these guys. With some of the ups and downs that we've had to deal with, they keep their focus on defense, and they've been consistent there. And the pitching's done a good job of keeping us in the game. So not where we want to be, obviously, but because of that, we're getting our chances to win most of these games.
What's the approach that you and your team take against pitcher and Mason Marnette, who's making his major league debut tonight?
Well, you get all the info you can. He's got good stuff. He's got a good fastball he uses. He jumps on you, it looks like. And he's got the curveball changeup. I know he has a good mix with the lefties and righties too. I think he's the guy that focus probably on throwing more strikes. He's doing that. I've always said, for the hitters, it's a little bit tougher when you see somebody they haven't seen and get a feel what he's trying to do, just get a feel on the stuff. He's got good stuff. He'll bump 95, 96.
Where the team is, so the injuries we've talked about a lot, where you guys are in the standings we've talked about. Has this team's identity changed from, I guess, the beginning of the season to now? You came in with, it was all about expectations, and now it's undermanned and fighting. Does something drastically change?
No, I can't say that. No. We just keep talking about it. You got to keep fighting. Where we're at, we got to win games, and they understand that, and so I don't think our identity has changed. Personnel has changed quite a bit, so I guess in that respect you could say it's changed a little bit. We like to say, okay, well, we maybe lost some slug or power, but Hellman goes out there, hits a home run, almost hits another one. So the guys that we have brought up have done a nice job. Ward comes up his first game, big 2-out RBI single, and so we get a contribution from everybody. I think we're being a little more consistent in that area.
When your personnel does change to more of a younger clubhouse, I guess, does that change your role at all in what you want to do within that clubhouse with a lot of younger guys?
Yeah, you know what? I think it's up to the manager to adapt to the club. If it changes, maybe you have to adapt a little bit. Have a bunt or hit and run more, things like that. Whatever it is, I'm just saying, yeah. But no, we still have a lot of our core guys here. So the lineup we have moved around quite a bit. So if there's anything, probably change, it's probably moving the lineup around.
And speaking of moving the lineup around, instead of having it stacked with all right-handed hitters as last night, it seems that you've got to mix and match now against Mason Burnett, seeing that he's a right-handed pitcher as well.
Yeah, well, our left-handed bat's going to be in there. He's actually got a little bit of a reversal split deal, but they're going to play. And, yeah, we're in a situation where we're doing some platooning. And I think it's working well. I mean, left-handers have been a challenge for us, but we're doing a much better job against the left-handers, including some pretty good ones. And so, yeah, I've been happy with the right-handed bats, how they've adjusted, and the new guys coming up will help the production against left-handed pitching.
When you're doing like platooning and line changes, right, mid-game and swapping it on a regular basis, do you need the right personnel for that? Like guys who are able to come into a game cold and take over, you know,
there's
you're not doing
something
that
to
with
that.
every team, I guess.
There's something to do that. I think with their left-handed bats, they're a little more experienced. You know, I think one of the toughest things to do is pinch hit. You know, for a young player, I'm talking about. And so you've seen me stick with the left-handed bats against lefties a little bit more. But still, you got to go with what you think. The best thing to do, for example, Hellman doesn't face a lot of righty. He's a pretty heavy split guy, but I like the way he's swinging. I didn't want to burn up, you know, the rest of the group. Bench using Jock there, so we let him hit. Sometimes your best moves are the ones you don't make.
Speaking of, it looked like you were split on whether to take Leiter out or not. Were you considering taking him out?
He's a hitter away.
He was a hitter away.
Yeah, he went out.
Okay.
Yeah. Once he got the lefty, I felt like he still had enough in the tank to get the next two guys, which would help us. And then I had Milner start the next inning, which worked out really well. We got 4 big outs, and then had Armstrong back in. So couldn't have worked out better. But if he'd lost one of those two, I was going to have to get him.
And just an overall good moment for him. He struck out Soderstrom, but he didn't get the call, and then he ends up getting through the inning. So just kind of like a good moment of maturation.
I think so. Yeah. I think one of the part of their last thing to come with the experience of young starters is also the old adage is they're your best closer. Well, closing that 6th inning. That was his game, and I just love the way he handled it. One thing about Jack, he's maintaining his stuff. He's a strong kid. He's up around 100 pitches, and he still has his good stuff.
Yeah.
No, you're right.